What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and tonight we're going to be talking about the first patch for Call of Duty Vanguard, up to 25 new modes that could be on the way, and even more. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, and also be sure to check out our wonderful partner Manscaped, who recently released a variety of products with the Performance Package 4.0. You can clean your bombs down there like never before with the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, the Weed Whacker trimmer for our nose and ears, the Crop Preserver deodorant, and the Crop Reviver toner. There's also some free gifts like the Magic Mat, the Manscaped boxers, and the luxury travel bag. Don't forget about the link down below in the description, and use code TWITCH20 to save 20% off your order. Now, I did have a Anfang full story video planned for today, but considering we have quite a bit of material and news to talk about today, I will push that video back until tomorrow. But if you haven't already, be sure to check out my full Vanguard campaign story explained video, which I posted a couple of days ago. It took quite a bit to actually get that video done, and it does go over a lot of the Treyarch tie-ins and the mysteries surrounding the ending, which you guys may have missed. Now, also first come first serve to the clan I created in Vanguard called the Bomb Shelter, and it kept the same name as my Discord server, which you can also join for free with the link down below. And yeah, first come first serve with joining the clan here, and you'll be able to see all these clan members also in Warzone once the full integration happens in a couple of weeks time. But they'll probably extend the limit of 100 people a little bit higher to maybe 500 in the future. It could be wishful thinking, but go ahead and join that as soon as you possibly can before the list does fill up. But today, Sledgehammer did confirm the Trifecta Mosh Pit is now live in Vanguard multiplayer, featuring the maps Dome, Decoy, and DOS House. Some very obvious fan favorite maps in Vanguard multiplayer thus far, and I'm loving that they're listening to fan feedback, right? Everybody wanted a DOS House 24/7 playlist, and we got that, and now we're merging that with some other fan favorites. I know the game hasn't even been out a full week yet, but it's been a real silky smooth multiplayer launch this year, so people are definitely on board with a number of maps that are already in the game. I also posted my official map comparisons of Castle and Dome, beautifully remastered from World at War into Vanguard. Those videos are linked down below in the description of my Facebook gaming page. Hopefully you guys check those out. We went through a nice little comparison of how the maps used to look 13 years ago compared to how beautiful they are now here with Call of Duty Vanguard. Sledgehammer also launched their official Trello board today, where they confirmed they have fixes on the way for spawns, weapon tracking issues, packet loss hitching, which is huge, and some other strange problems related to search and destroy, and some other small things. And Treyarch did use their Trello board quite a bit last year with Black Ops Cold War. It's the best place to keep track of everything that they're currently working on, and where the community can best send their feedback as to what needs to be fixed. But in terms of patch notes for today's little update in Vanguard, I love that they already went in detail with some things that people were definitely requesting. Number one, campaign. Mid-level checkpoint save data has been invalidated. Note, players have not lost all their campaign progress. Save loads will deliver players to the beginning of the latest level rather than their last checkpoint. Not sure why that was a thing, but users who are unable to redeem codes for incentives like XP bonuses, calling cards, and emblems can now redeem those rewards, which is great. The combat shield will also now protect players' backs once stowed. And I saw some feedback online today, which kind of gave me the impression that the riot shield got too much of a buff. They'll probably scale that back in the next patch, but for now, at least they fixed some of the core issues with the shield itself. Invisible player models and MVP voting and play of the game have also been fixed. They also fixed the bug affecting Constance's skin and that skin's progression. Operator challenges no longer appear to reset after completion, which was also a bit strange. Inaccurate unlock requirements for weapon challenges now display correctly. The 1911 pistol will now progress past level 50, and weapons can now be accessed in the loadout's gunsmith after level 66. Another strange issue from before. Now, when it comes to zombies specifically, when it comes to camo progression, we have all pistol challenges that can now be properly completed, and with the exfil, the kill count to exfil now correctly tracks zombies killed. The bleed out meter, self-revive meter, no longer fails to show progress. For transmit, the objective, players that die outside of the damage barrier no longer take damage over time upon reviving in the hub area. Legendary Covenants, all players should now be able to receive Legendary Covenant options at the Altar of Covenants, and the After Action Report, players no longer are returned to the lobby when attempting to view post-match unlocks. Lastly, we have field upgrades, address an issue where players who recovered from being downed were unable to use field upgrades in rare instances. And I know you guys out there are probably thinking, there's a whole bunch of other issues that need to be resolved for zombies and things that need to be added. What's going on with that? And what I'll say is we'll probably get a separate blog post from Treyarch closer to Season 1 talking about a bit of an overhaul the zombies is likely going to get, featuring content that probably should have been in the game on day one, but we talked about that plenty in a previous video, of course. But for zombies fans that are worried, I get it. The mode needed a little bit more time in the oven to really cook up into a solidified launch experience. at least if you compare that to previous years where Treyarch launched with some zombies. But this is why I always say, right, when it comes to people out there advocating for refunds, if you don't play campaign multiplayer, I get it. You might have spent $70 on just one mode that you're not happy with. I fully understand that and respect that point of view, but don't forget that in previous years, when you spent $70 or whatever the price was, that was only guaranteeing you launch content, not DLC. $70 now will guarantee you launch content and all the post-launch updates. That's not defending the shortcomings that Vanguard Zombies has, but it's to remind you that your money wasn't really wasted if you're gonna keep playing the game over the course of this year and try out the new updates that do come to Anfang. So with that being said, we'll talk more about zombies in a separate video. Now's not the time for that. But when it comes to upcoming game modes, which were actually found by some curious individuals today, this is where things get real spicy, so buckle up for this one. So apparently there's over 20 plus modes which could be coming to Vanguard multiplayer. Some of them could be leftover information from Warzone or maybe some scrapped content entirely, but let's read all these in the case that any of these do release. Now I also want to quickly mention that there is audio also being posted online proving these modes are coming to Vanguard multiplayer. Yes, there are voice lines recorded by the Butcher of you spawning into a match of some of these. We first up have Fireteam. Hell yeah, so I'm a huge Fireteam fanboy from Black Ops Cold War, and I can't wait to see how that'll play here in Vanguard. I mean, what map will you actually play it on? Will it be some of the bigger ones? I mean, how will parachuting work? It's going to be interesting, unless we end up getting portions of Caldera from Warzone playable in this Fireteam mode. Totally unclear, but hey, I'm on board with this. I think Fireteam was a great mode in Cold War that kind of allowed you to play a bit of a Warzone type experience, but in a paid Call of Duty, not something that was free, so it's a bit different. We have hardcore bare bones Demolition, Ground War, which seems to be something that we're getting that's very similar to Modern Warfare's Ground War, and with that, I mean, that's a little interesting to hear. We're getting both Fireteam and Ground War since they're a little similar. Obviously, the objective is a bit different, but in terms of gameplay and map size, quite similar. We then have Prop Hunt, a fan favorite, Grind, something called SR, Cyber, VIP, Arms Race, Payload, Crawl, something called T-Jug, SD, Arena, Monument, Aliens, Rugby, Rush, DEFCON, Infection, something called Ball, which is probably Uplink, HVT, HQ, and then Mines. Now, like I said, some of these terms there could be referencing stuff left over from older Call of Duties, something that's left over from Warzone, something that's scrapped entirely, and yeah, some of these terms are a bit vague, so we're not sure what that could entail in terms of gameplay. But if you guys out there are really curious on your PCs and know what's going on with how Call of Duty files work, then you probably will know what some of these terms are referencing. But again, I'm not a data miner or a leaker. I don't have a PC to run these programs, right? This is all information from the internet, which COD partners and the press have talked about by now. But with that being said, I think we're looking like we're going to have another year similar to Black Ops Cold War in terms of how much content does release over the next 6 seasons. And you could always argue, right, well, in Black Ops Cold War, it was quantity over quality, and that's subjective, right? But objectively speaking, Black Ops Cold War and what looks like Vanguard are going to be the few Call of Duties that release so much goddamn content that it just wipes the floor with all older Call of Duty titles, right? And disagree with that respectfully, but in terms of how much content is coming, it's going to be unprecedented compared to previous Call of Duty seasons. We also have a new Killstreak that's supposedly called the Flying Fortress. Now, audio is out there, which I can't put on screen for obvious reasons. It's very easy to find on the internet, especially Twitter or Reddit. Maybe check the description down below for some links. But the Flying Fortress sounds like a mothership, sounds like something that is out of Black Ops 3, a game taking place in the future. And this is probably some type of gunship or something we might have saw in campaign. But yeah, obviously new Killstreaks are going to release in Vanguard. That's to be expected. We had that with Black Ops Cold War, and I think that was fairly successful, right? I'm still disappointed we didn't get the Attack Dogs in Season 6, which got rumored a long time ago, but we did get Attack Dogs released in Vanguard multiplayer, so that makes up for it. But this Flying Fortress is probably going to be our Season 1 Killstreak, unless things change, of course. Don't forget, back during Black Ops Cold War Season 1, there was official promo art released of the Flamethrower, and that didn't actually release till Season 5. So there could be content that's finished, doesn't get released for a number of months. Now, a list of vehicles was also posted online, which was confirmed by some other curious people that this is a list of scrap vehicles from Warzone, but that's not to say some of these vehicles can't release with Caldera in the next couple of weeks. You never know, but just in case, we have a list that includes an APC Russ, a cop car, a hoopty truck, a Jeep Med Transport, which is probably an ambulance, a pickup truck, and then a van. Now, yeah, maybe we'll see some of these in the future, especially if we're getting Ground War and Fireteam added to Vanguard multiplayer. I'm curious where we'll actually get some of that gameplay on, or what are the maps going to look like, and what kind of vehicles will be featured in those modes. Maybe some of these, but aside from that, there were references found regarding vehicles being used in zombies. So that's another thing I'm really curious about, because we know those are not going to come to Anfang, there's just no way, but maybe it's for the next Zombies experience, whatever the next map is. But then the question is, right, will the next map have a similar structure to Anfang, where it's one hub in the middle, and then those portals you can actually jump into to teleport to other maps? Could it be another round-based map that's on a bigger scale that features vehicles, or are we going to see an Outbreak 2.0 being played on the Caldera Warzone map, which I think then would answer a lot of these questions about how vehicles could work in Zombies at some point. Just something I wanted to point out. But other gestures were also found and posted over online today, featuring something like a chin flick, something called Crazy, devil horns, a dog whistle hand, and a knuckle crack. So we talked quite a bit in yesterday's video about some other upcoming DLC regarding operators, holiday events, gestures, and some other cool content that we're not going to go through too much in this video. But with that, there is a lot of content on the way, like I said, and I'm really curious what will be featured in the Season 1 Battle Pass for Vanguard. I'm sure whether it's the next title update or even at some point sooner, we're going to end up getting a lot of the information posted a little bit early over on Twitter and Reddit, as that usually happens with every single Call of Duty. But recently I mentioned something called F2, and that is something that apparently is referencing another map or some type of experience for Vanguard. People are claiming that it's some type of scrapped tutorial mode for the game, but other people are claiming that it could be the Warzone practice arena that we're going to see in Caldera. There's a practice arena for Verdansk, so without a doubt we'll probably get at least a new one for the new Warzone experience soon. Now F2 could be a reference to that. Again, there's curious people out there who are more familiar with the Call of Duty files and are claiming such, but I have no way of verifying that, so I figured I'd just bring that up just in case regarding possible tutorial mode coming on December the 2nd. Now, I did put out a tweet earlier today where I did mention how I was surprised we didn't get either War, the game mode from World War II 2017, or a headquarters feature here in Vanguard. Now, we all know this game hasn't been in development for that long. I want to say and guess a good year and a half. Maybe it was towards the later half of Black Ops 4's lifecycle when Sledgehammer fully became on board with this project. Obviously, COD 2020 was their original next Call of Duty, but everybody knows what happened with that, right? Treyarch took over, turned it into Cold War. Sledgehammer has been working on Vanguard too long. Maybe that's why we'd end up getting a big feature that was as ambitious as a headquarters. Maybe in their next game we'll end up seeing that. But a game mode like War maybe will come back at some point. If the player count was high enough during World War II 2017, maybe it'll justify it bringing it back again with this game. Or they'll somehow turn Fireteam or Ground War into a mode like that where it features objectives on that scale. It's totally unclear, but fingers crossed we get that at some point in the future. But these same people who are posting this spicy information did go ahead and claim that, without a doubt, 100%, the Mines point of interest is going to be opening up in Verdansk 84 before the map goes away permanently on November the 30th. And we've been waiting quite a while for that update, right? Back during Season 3, when Verdansk 84 released, there was a blog post which hinted at the mines opening up, or the underground section, I should say, and that just hasn't happened, right? Multiple seasons later, we're like, wait, what happened with that? I figured it would be a Black Ops-centric type of update, where maybe they remaster the mines from Vorkuta in the Black Ops 1 campaign, and put those underground in Verdansk. Would have been a cool tie-in, but that's probably not going to happen. However, that point of interest may be tied to one of the upcoming events coming to Warzone, which aren't too far away. We have one coming up next week, which is going to feature what's being called a Verdansk flashback event, and there'll be cosmetic rewards you can earn by taking part. Not sure what that's going to entail exactly, aside from the little cosmetics, but then a good week later, we have a little bit of an Easter egg and some postcards being released in Verdansk regarding Caldera, right? It'll be some little Easter egg where we can get our hands on some new images of what the new Warzone map's going to look like. That sounds fun. Then November the 30th is the ultimate grand finale of Verdansk as we know it, the end of the current iteration of Warzone, and I'm really curious what that event's going to be like, right? Another nuke event or something that takes us out of Verdansk for a good 2 days. There'll be some downtime likely, and then with that being said, we'll have the brand new Warzone experience on December the 2nd. But this should be fun. Looking forward to how the mines look, and I know there's already a lot of YouTube videos out there of people getting into the underground section. There's already loot down there, so it's meant for you to be down there. We just have to wait until we can officially do it at some point soon. But I also want to bring up a really interesting confirmation we got today from YouTube themselves that they are officially getting rid of the ability to view dislikes on a YouTube video, and that includes streams as well, and it's supposed to prevent the dislike bullying that happens quite often where you get dislike spammed. I mean, for example, right, I posted a Anfang review, or I guess you want to call it a review, a video where we talk about what's inherently wrong with the mode, what it's missing, kind of the issues with the community and also what I do like about the mode, which gives me hope for the future. It's a video that's honest, that's fair, it takes a look at both sides of the debate, and that was the goal of the video, to acknowledge both sides, look at what's inherently wrong, and then why the community is taking it a bit too far with what I've seen online. I mean, I really enjoyed making the video. It's unfortunate to see a video they worked hard on get dislike spammed, but all in all, I think, yeah, we're gonna get rid of that side of the problem, but it could create a new issue entirely. When you can't see dislikes on a video, then that almost edges on people that scam and clickbait their audiences to continue posting garbage. And then there's no way of telling, right, when you first look at a video, if the video is well received or not. So, I mean, it's getting rid of an issue, could be creating a new one. Only time will tell, but it's interesting timing to see this being announced. I mean, I'm probably gonna say that this is only a result of people that massively ratio and dislike spam heavy political channels, news media outlets. That's probably why this is becoming a thing. And you know what, to remind you as well, a lot of other social media platforms got rid of their dislike button a long time ago. It is inherently useless, in my opinion. Doesn't really do much for the creator. And to answer your question, if you're wondering this, yes, there will still be a dislike button. You can still click it. You just won't be able to see how many dislikes that video or stream actually has. So I'm curious how this is going to affect the future of YouTube. Hopefully it's for better and not for worse. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the brand new patch for Call of Duty Vanguard? How are you feeling about those new modes they got rumored earlier today? And also, what are your thoughts on the upcoming Warzone events? Are you excited? And are you going to tune into my Caldera coverage when the new Warzone map does release? I'm really excited about it, but really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everyone.